A fearless, skilled mercenary with nothing to lose gets a tough job: save a crime boss's kid who's been grabbed by a crime lord. As he tries to pull off this nearly impossible rescue, he starts thinking maybe this kid is worth risking everything for. Can he pull it off and get the kid out safe? In the movie, a skilled Australian mercenary takes on a mission to rescue an Indian drug lord's kidnapped son in Bangladesh. But the mission goes awry when he is double-crossed. The most crucial character in the film is Ovi, the son of a jailed crime boss in India. Even though Ovi's dad used to be a big deal in the criminal world with a huge drug empire, his power is fading since he's been locked up. Seeing a chance, Amir, a rival from Bangladesh, decides to move. He aims to show he's the new top dog, and how does he do that? By having Ovi kidnapped. After a day at school, Ovi Mahajan, the son of an imprisoned Indian drug boss, sneaks out of his residence to visit a club where he is abducted by police agents working for rival drug lord Amir Asif. Right after, they shoot his friend. This demonstrates that they are serious about this. Ovi's father discovers what occurred through his primary man, Saju, who informs him that the kidnappers demand money. But Ovi's father doesn't believe it's all about the money. He sees it as a way to make him look bad and ruin his name, so he orders Saju to save Ovi no matter what. Saju dislikes the notion since it appears excessively risky, almost like an obvious means to get murdered. Unwilling to pay the ransom as it will hurt his prestige, Ovi Mahajan Sr., Pankaj Tripathi, orders Saju to retrieve his son, threatening Saju's family. Saju has no choice but to agree. That's when Saju decides to bring in some professional help. He reaches out to a group of mercenaries led by Nick, and for the job, they pull in a top-notch fighter from Australia, Tyler Rake. Tyler Rake, a mercenary involved in the underground market and ex-member of the Special Air Service Regiment, is enlisted by fellow mercenary Nick Khan to rescue Ovi in Dhaka, Bangladesh. A man who now spends most of his time drinking and using medications says yes to the job. Rake and Khan's crew plan to save Ovi, with his father's men promising to pay them once he is rescued. Tyler, Nick, and their team travel to Dhaka, where Ovi is held captive. Tyler behaves like he has the ransom money to meet with the kidnappers. They guide him to where Ovi is. Once they're certain Ovi is there, the crew begins shooting at the enemy men from a distance. Meanwhile, Tyler demonstrates his incredible combat skills, eliminating everyone but a young soldier. Hargrave keeps Gore cool with technical brilliance and choreography, utilizing overlong looks reminiscent of Call of Duty outtakes. He also commits to the locale, resulting in a global suspense with an excellent ensemble cast. Rake saves Ovi, murders his captors, and transports him to the extraction spot. Ovi's father's guys deliberately fail to make the payments. Instead, Saju murders Rake's colleagues and brings Ovi back without paying the mercenary squad. We move scenes to a rooftop, seeing something very different from what Tyler did. Tyler did not damage the young soldier, but Amir is much rougher. He's throwing kids off rooftops because he thinks one of them stole from him. This shows how mean our bad guy is. After one kid gets thrown off, another kid, Farhad, points out that the thief was the one who just got dropped. Amir likes how Farhad thinks, especially since the accused can't argue now. But Amir still tells Farhad to cut off 2 of his fingers as a lesson to anyone else thinking about stealing from him. Farhad was about to do it when Colonel Rashid showed up. Rashid heads a special police team and tells Amir that Ovi has been saved. Upon discovering Ovi's getaway, Amir commands a swift lockdown of Dhaka, ensuring all exit bridges from the city are secured. This is where things start to get wild. It kicks off a huge chase. That's the main show of the movie. And guess what? Amir decides Farhad can keep his fingers after all. Why? Because Farhad is now on a mission to chase down Tyler and Ovi. But that's not the only problem Tyler is facing. When they finally get to where they planned to get away, Tyler discovers that the rest of his team has been removed. The mercenaries discover that Ovi has been rescued, but there's a catch. There's no money because Ovi's father's assets were frozen. This was Saju's plan from the beginning. He let the mercenaries rescue Ovi and planned to take control himself. Saju catches up with Tyler and Ovi and attempts to persuade Ovi to accompany him, pretending to work for Ovi's father. But Tyler suspects foul play. After all, Saju's strategy annihilated his whole crew. Now Tyler and Ovi are not just running from Saju, but from the Bangladeshi police as well. And Saju is no easy opponent. He's ex-special forces. Tyler is in for a tough ride as he faces off against both these threats. The action that follows is intense, leading to Tyler and Ovi managing to escape, though Tyler gets hurt in the process. Saju is left with a broken nose but alive, which is more than can be said for the cops Tyler had to take down. After the chaos, Saju calls his wife, telling her to take their son and their money and run if she doesn't hear from him in 12 hours. Despite the victory, Tyler is injured and Nick tells him it's time to leave, but getting out will take a lot of work. Khan organizes a helicopter to pick up Rake outside the city and advises him to leave Ovi behind, explaining that they won't receive payment for Ovi's extraction contract, which he refuses. But why stick around if there's no money to be had? Tyler has a personal reason. He previously had a son who died of lymphoma. His anxiety of witnessing his kid die drove him to abandon him in his dying moments. He decided to fight in Afghanistan rather than face the emotional maelstrom that awaited him back home in Australia. This decision pushed his wife away, a mistake he greatly regrets. It's also why he can't stomach leaving his second child, Ovi, behind. He empathizes with the kid and sees some of his son in the young, innocent boy. This is no longer a job, but a mission. He must get Ovi out safely, which means avoiding death until his mission is complete. After renovating his commitment, Tyler soon finds himself and Ovi under attack by Farhad and his crew. Thanks to his skills, Tyler manages to fend them off. Farhad, failing his mission, faces Amir's wrath and is forced to cut off one of his fingers as punishment, but he's still eager for a second chance. Tyler and Ovi seek shelter with an old friend of Tyler's, Gaspar, a retired squad member residing in Dhaka. Gaspar provides them with a place to stay as they consider their future steps. But there's a twist. Gaspar advises they simply kill Ovi and claim the $10 million bounty on his head, reasoning that Ovi's chances of escaping are minimal anyhow. Tyler fiercely opposes the plan, resulting in a heated argument. Gaspar appears to get the upper hand until Ovi steps in, using Tyler's pistol to save him by killing Gaspar. This challenging set of events strengthens Tyler and Ovi's emotional bond. They may not be blood relatives, but their willingness to sacrifice everything for each other speaks volumes, showing the strength of their bond. Rake contacts Saju, asking them to collaborate to make their escape from Dhaka. Saju explains that he's just trying to protect his own family. Their strategy involves Tyler creating a diversion so Saju and Ovi can head to the extraction point in a car to meet Nick. But even the best plans can fall apart, and that's precisely what happens. They end up stuck in traffic and must make the rest of the journey on foot. After being spotted at a checkpoint, they're chased down by a bunch of guys on a bridge. Rake draws attention away from a disguised Saju and Ovi as they make their way through a bridge checkpoint, then follows to cover their escape. Saju ends up getting shot by Colonel Rashid, who's using a sniper rifle. Now it is all on Tyler to ensure Ovi can safely make it into the helicopter. Khan and the surviving mercenaries approach from the opposite side of the bridge as Asif watches from a distance with binoculars. While Tyler battles off the intruders, Nick doesn't sit back. She successfully shoots down an enemy chopper and kills Colonel Rashid, preventing him from killing Tyler. Thanks to their efforts, Ovi can reach the helicopter. The film ends with a climactic gunfight on a bridge, and just as Ovi crosses the bridge and Tyler breathes a sigh of relief, Tyler is fatally shot by Farhad, the young guy determined to prove himself to drug lord Amir. Tyler appears to die directly before Ovi and his mercenary buddy Nick. Ovi, Khan, and the extraction crew flee to Mumbai. However, the film's last sequences convey a feeling of hope. 8 months later, in a men's washroom, we see Ovi plunge into a swimming pool and plummet to the bottom, replicating Rake's opening scene. When Ovi emerges from the water, a person in the background resembles Tyler Rake, and the screen cuts to black. So is Chris Hemsworth's character alive? Has he returned to train Ovi? Extraction 2 was released on June 16th, 2023, with the main cast returning. But this time, Tyler Rake returns with more fight and less heart 3 years after the successful first part of Extraction.